Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 979, coming to you live from nowhere, somewhere, Dallas, Texas. That is right. We are home. We are not out and about, but we will be soon. We're heading actually to Puerto Rico on Monday for an investor summit hosted by Sequire and DNA Fund. So we are heading to the land of opportunists and tax optimizers because they love to find ways to spend their money in Web3 that gets them a tax advantage. But I want to let everyone know, shout out to everyone on LinkedIn, Player One Taco YouTube, 0x Degens YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, on-chain via Abstract, on-chain via Arena. And I'm having a slight issue with the Pump Fund stream. Let's see if we can get that right and rolling all the way. I scroll to the end. I agree. Do I have a description? Yes, this is fucking shit time awesome night with fucking Dapit and AutoPilot. And for those that don't know who AutoPilot or Dapit is, what the fuck are you even doing? Are you trenching? So, but without a further ado, oh, cool. We are live. Let me get this going then correctly because it's not just about me. But let's see here. That's right. We got the guys. So one on I want to introduce both Achilles and Josh the Boss. You guys might have seen them around the world in some place or doing other things, but tonight we got AutoPilot founder and builder, the one and only Josh the Boss, and we have Dapit founder and like the man who learned how to vibe code to teach others how to vibe code, Achilles. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, buddy. How are you, man?
Man, I am doing well. That is one of the longest intro pieces I have done in a while. Josh, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Dude, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Man, you know how much I love you. I've known you forever. Did you think that the night that you randomly showed up at like that beer garden, that this is what the relationship would turn into like 4+ years later?
Dude, honestly, I had no idea. We showed up, went to Austin, grabbed some beers, and here we are.
Oh wait, Achilles, you want the lore?
The story. You guys are. What's going on here?
Oh, so Josh and I come from what used to be long time ago, Degens After Dark, which then evolved to on-chain TV and like Degens on-chain and everything like that. And we've had everyone do some amazing stuff that came out of that crew. We've had like Scott Fu go through some major stuff. We had Illa go, now he's in Yuga. We've had Vo going through everything. We've had Koi. We've had, BitBoy J, Farouk grew up out of on-chain TV, Leap, Buckets, like everyone. So it has been an amazing time. So one night on the show, I was like, yeah, I'm in Austin. And Josh was like, I'm in Austin.
Shut the fuck up. And
I was like, I'm at this beer garden place. He's like, I can be at that beer garden place. And and he showed up.
Okay, that's what's up. I guess we're having some issues with the guest
audience. Yeah, I see that. And I think I actually know that issue. Let's solve that because let's go. We have to go to regular real tech speakers so everyone can hear you guys. Speak up.
Testing.
All right. You can hear on the broadcast, but you can't hear on the space. Can you hear them now on the space? Because they are not actually in the space. They are coming live through with me. Speak up, boys.
You guys should be over here.
All right. We're gonna have fun with this. I'm trying a new setup. Usually I run this concurrently on my phone at the same time, so then it works a lot better. But I tried to be fancy and run this all through the computer while I am just like over cached. Oh man, cash me outside. But yeah, so I want to thank, so Josh, can you take a moment and sort of tell everyone who you are?
Yeah, I'm Josh. I went to college for science. I wanted to be a marine biologist. Eventually, I studied money, and like I wanted to be an economics major. And I was in the middle of getting my degree, and one day I looked into crypto. I saw NFTs, and I saw a video of Gary Vee. He's like, "You should quit college and go look at NFTs." And I said, "Okay." And I've been through the ups and downs of the market, the NFTs, the meme coins, the bear market, Solana at $8, and I'm still here, still cracking. And I want them to be a trader to now building stuff.
Okay, nice. And you've done a few different projects or been part of a few different projects as well, right?
Yeah, I've been a pretty big part of a lot of projects. I used to work for NFT projects on the gaming side of NFT projects. Some of you guys might know NFT Worlds. I used to work with them. And I worked with a lot of meme coins. I'd helped a lot of teams internally. You might know some of them. Troll. You might know Troll. And yeah, man, I had a lot of experience in this field, and
I am just so upset that you didn't tell me when I had 100,000 Troll. You didn't be like, bro, hold that bag. You didn't tell that to me.
Though I was extremely bullish from day one. I was telling everyone I'm bullish on the timeline. I didn't stop.
You didn't call me up and say, Taco, Troll. And you could have just hung up the phone.
Oh man, dude. I mean, there are so many stories of people who are just they're like, hey, what is this? But listen, Taco, you're here for AutoPilot. I believe AutoPilot will be a great success. Let's cook.
Let's fucking cook. All right. Achilles, for those that don't know who you are, what's your background?
My man, what have I done in this space? I've been here for 5 years full time. So I have done a lot of things in this space. I'm most well known as Achilles. I started a call channel when call channel started, and things went really well for a long time there. I've since kind of branched out to building, used some of my in real life, previous business skills to kind of bring that to Web3. Recently founded Dapit.io about a year ago. Encourage you guys to take a look at us. We're a vibe coding and creation. We're calling ourselves an AI aggregator. So we give you a start to finish completion workflow for AI related products, and you can build whatever you want. I don't know, man. I'm a guy who loves crypto is what it comes down to. I've been in crypto since 5 years ago, full time. I've got to do the coolest things in crypto. I've got to travel to the coolest places, meet the coolest people, Taco being one of them. And yeah, I mean, that's me. I'm not really great at bragging about myself or discussing my experience. So that's all I got.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's sort of lays the foundation of who you guys are. All right. And so we're going to go one of the pieces I wanted to go to. And for those that are in the Twitter space, I see you guys. If you have questions, throw them in the comments, if you have shout outs. But what I would really recommend you doing is if you go to the Jumbotron, you'll see the live video of us and you can see us. And then we're going to be screen sharing. So we're going to be walking through AutoPilot. So if you guys have any questions about what functions do what or how to set something up, we are actually going to launch a no-purpose shitcoin. I'm going to put the bare minimum in it, and I'm going to dump it as soon as the show's over. So I'm going to dump on you. I'm telling you right now. So if you buy this, you're dumb. Does that sound like Alex Becker too much? Okay. All right. But Josh, so are you've had a lot of stuff coming through with Dapit, or with AutoPilot. Having two shows on is sort of hard. So mind me, guys. With AutoPilot, why did you want to build AutoPilot? And you bought it, and for those that don't know, you built it on top of Pump Fund. So you're not trying to be a competitor in any way, shape, or form. You're trying to like be synergistic and build on top of and build on the rails of.
Yeah, I mean, Pump Fund is a great platform. They are absolutely killing it. They changed the game, and people don't remember that back when Pump Fund first came out, the reason why people like Pump Fund so much is they felt safe buying, tokens on Pump, whereas other tokens could have like liquidity pools and all that jazz, right? And I think that AutoPilot is the next step for safety for tokens, because we currently live in like an era of meme coins where we don't really trust the dev. Devs often make mistakes or they don't do what they're supposed to do. And with AutoPilot, it automates everything that a dev possibly needs to do. And we'll add in more features soon down the line. But that's why I built AutoPilot. I built AutoPilot so that devs could be transparent and gain a trust with the community, unlike ever before. And we can get back to sending coins to hundreds of millions again because we had trust with the community, trust with the teams. The community can actually rally behind something they believe in, and everything happens on its own. I mean, that's the coolest thing for me personally is, you just put in the wallets, you just direct the fees to different people and different functions, and kind of just let AutoPilot do its thing.
Okay. And so like some of the stuff that you were building on it, like, so like you've had this idea for a moment. And this is sort of what we're going to, you have a dev team behind you on this for all the smart contract stuff, but like you built the site and like the ideas from you, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I basically brainstormed all these ideas, and I had these ideas for some time, and I've been letting it down, and I've been hearing about vibe coding and cursor and quad. I'm like, you know what, man? Why don't you just try and see what I can do? And I built AutoPilot, and I really like the product, and I really wanted to ship it, but I wanted to do it in a way that makes it both for everyone and safe. So I brought some devs along, and they've been really helping me and doing a good job of building AutoPilot.
All right. So let's see here. I got to find a wallet real quick that, all right, cool. Found a wallet. Let's send a soul over to it. Why not? That sounds like a good idea. Copy address. I had the stage. I want people to see what we're doing, So like you talked to, there's a piece on this that you want to that you've talked about, like the transparency side of it, why is AutoPilot different?
So AutoPilot is different because also by the way, Taco, for the full experiment, you might want to make a couple more fresh wallets just so you can like fully use the product. But AutoPilot is different from Pump Fund because it essentially locks the functions of the creative rewards. Instead of making it interchangeable, where the dev can say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Or, for example, today, I don't know if you caught it, Taco, but I don't know if you caught it, but Alon essentially got transferred ownership of a token, and essentially it looked like he debbed it, right? Yeah. Even though he didn't. And it ran from like 2 mil. And it was absolutely crazy.
Oh, yeah. Then it ran to like 4.5 and then it dumped.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw that, this is one of those things to where this is sort of what we've sort of seen time and time again. People are trying out new things and they're hiding behind, they want to tie a name to it. And so that's one of those things to where, like, we saw the same thing happen with like bags as well. You could launch a token, but you could designate it to someone else, and so and that was via Twitter accounts rather than an actual wallet. But you wanted to take it a step sort of deeper, and you wanted to tie it to a wallet address. But the biggest piece of it from what I have taken so far is it's immutable.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but what's sort of the difference there? Like why does immutability, matter in launching a shitter?
It matters because transparency is really important, Taco. And there's a lot of people who say they're gonna do things and they don't do it. For example, right? Let's just say you want to send some fees to a creator. Well, at any moment, you can just say, you know what, this creator is not doing something, or I don't like their attitude, and I can just stop it and cut it off. And that's not very transparent. That's not something that, the community can trust. Or the dev can just run off with the funds, Or another thing, too, is, the late pump fund rewards work. They farm a certain range. And when you do that, it's a very detrimental for the community. And if you want to build a real successful project and gain trust, you want to use something like AutoPilot to make it immutable, to make it transparent, and to lock it in so that nothing can be changed.
Okay. So, like, this is the question then, like, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here because you're doing two different options here. You're doing a direct launch and you're integrating existing. So it seems like you're trying to address not just those that are starting, but those that have been there. So do you think that that's like splitting your time too much? Like, rather than just on new launches, you're focusing on like community takeovers or, things that might have launched and didn't do the best?
Well, I think the cool thing about integrating an existing project, and by the way, we are still finalizing that function, but I think the important thing about integrating existing projects is, there's a lot of projects that go and they get a coin that they really like, and they transfer the fee structure, and they want to be transparent with their community, or they want to gain trust, right? It's easy for a team that has been out for 6 months to gain trust with their community, but the fastest way to gain trust is to use AutoPilot. And integrating existing tokens is not that much of a time crunch because it's the same function, you put the wallets in there, put the CA. It's just a little bit of a different code base on the back end and just a little bit of a switch on the UI in the front. And we want to support projects that are not only looking to launch, that have already launched, and they're trying to be more transparent with their community.
Okay. I have the really, are you ready? I have the hard question for you, man. This is,
Here we go.
Is seen every single time. So, like, you've taken this rather than a project saying like, hey, of all of the funds we get in, we're going to split, 20% over there, 10% over here, and do this marketing, exchanges and everything like that. You're designating wallet addresses by the team for specific purposes, and you're making a stop function. Like, let's say exchange wallet, exchange listing, once it hits $50,000, everything else after that goes to marketing wallet or whatever. Now, what's to stop me from taking that $50,000 for an exchange listing, and instead of using it on an exchange, it's, I go buy a new computer?
So two things. The thing about AutoPilot is it's transparent, right? Now, teams right now in the current form, they just take the money and you had no idea what they're being used for, right?
Yeah.
You had no idea when they're splitting up. Usually, you don't hear about the destruction of projects until after it's already too late. Whereas with AutoPilot, it's all there. You can go on AutoPilot site, you can see the wallets that it goes to, you can look at the activity, and you can really figure out what's going on.
Okay. So like we see here with AutoPilot, which is the token behind AutoPilot, right?
Yes, sir.
So we see that like marketing is buyback and burn, community, dev wallet, listing fund, and authority. Like this is what you've sort of nominated things to be, but at the same time, this is sort of like you're separating it from the get-go rather than like me having like a spreadsheet. So there's still there's more transparency to it, but what would you say, there's still risk, or you're just trying to make more transparency for the community to see, so that if the dev does do something bad, it can be seen quicker?
Yes, exactly that. It's the transparency for the community to see. And I will say we are working on some things to make it so it's less dependent on humans touching the money. But yes, that essentially it's just so the community has a deeper understanding of what's going on, where is the money, where is it going, and it can hold people accountable.
Okay. All right. Achilles, any questions for Josh right now?
No questions. I got a few comments, man. That is a really good idea. We all see it, right? Like in the space right now, the amount of people that are kind of just like doing stuff, and it's like, trust me, bro. Mm-hmm. Crypto's always been that way. That's cool. But I like to see. I'm also really happy to see that you vibe coded this. Like with Dapit being a vibe coding platform, you can kind of pick up on certain aspects of a site and how it was created. And you did a great job, man. Looks great.
Dude, thank you. And the devs definitely did a lot of work, and I appreciate them. But a lot of what AutoPilot is, and there's these really small details that you don't really notice, but I do. I'm trying to make the best platform for this, and I'm going to keep expanding. I'm going to keep working on it.
Let's go. Yeah, dude, one of the things that people don't realize about with working with AIs, they're actually like way more detail oriented. So little things get to put thrown in there that like we would just never think of. And it's so cool when something surprises you. You're like, wow, like it decided to, add that little image in the bottom right corner, like that extra button that I never would have thought of.
Yeah, and the other thing I like about AutoPilot is it's not for everyone, and it's for teams that want to be transparent and want to be open with their community. And I've been getting a lot of feedback, a lot of actually really good ideas that we might implement on the platform that will make this a huge success, and I think the community will really like it.
And so one of the things here, it's almost like the communities will want devs or teams to launch on AutoPilot because it gives a little bit more credibility. Like if you're wanting to do it right and you're not just trying to do a pump and dump, you're trying to do it. Go do it on AutoPilot.
Yeah, 100%. I want people to say, oh, they didn't work with AutoPilot, therefore I trust the team more, and that's that. And that's really what I'm trying to garner this platform for, is for people to actually believe in the people that are, building. I think that one thing that I realized is that maybe 3 months ago, there are teams that are actually building really cool things, but they don't get the love, they don't get the time that they really deserve because people just move on or don't trust them. And I think that this gives real teams and real people who are actually trying to build a fair shot of gaining trust with people and really taking the project to the next level.
All right. I can see that. All right. So next up, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna test out AutoPilot. We're gonna do that. But before we do that, I want to sort of hop over to Achilles for a minute and talk to you, man, about DAPIT.
There's one condition before you start.
What is that?
Yes, it's battle chess. That was the condition. Okay, we're good. Yeah.
You wanted to see battle chess in action?
Absolutely want to see battle chess. Taco's been like our best beta tester ever, guys. This man has built some of the coolest applications. He's went so hard, and he's hit me up at 1 a.m, showing me the coolest things. I've been extremely proud to see what Taco can build with DAPIT. And that's actually working on V1.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you should use V2 right now if you can.
Oh, you mean this tab? Over here?
Baby. That's V2. Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Okay, fine. We will use V2. I'll close that down. Let's see if I might have to.
I don't know actually if GitHub is going to work as an authentication method because remember,
I don't. I'm going to have to go get a new GitHub authentication token.
Oh, you would also have to do that.
Yeah,
the previous one. Yeah, it's okay. We can. Don't worry.
We'll go back to V1.
That V2 is for closed beta testers right now, guys. We're just working out all the kinks and adding a bunch of new features. And Taco's one of those gems.
We'll move that away so people hopefully they didn't look at what the URL was. I mean, I didn't tell you to look at the URL or anything like that.
They get the same amount of tokens. It's no worries.
All right. So, yeah. But so like I was asking Josh, some of the things that you sort of, you built yourself, and you don't come from a coding background.
No. So I didn't. Okay. Let's be real clear about how DAPIT was created. So I was a bolt.new power user, right? I was building things on bolt.new. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was shocked that AI could accomplish the things that it was, but I was really frustrated by a bunch of aspects of it. So I talked to a friend of mine who is now my CTO, my main dev. His name is Ben Alia. He's one of the most talented guys in the world. And he put together what you're looking at. Now, this is based on the same open source software that bolt.new is. But the objective of DAPIT was really the foundational aspect of them both is that workbench you're looking at right now. It's the ability to parse data from LLMs and hook it into a coding environment, right? So we share that. That's what we share with bolt.new. What we began to build on top of that was web3 native components that just don't exist anywhere. If you look at Taco's little bar down there, you'll see a Supabase connection, MCP server connection right next to it, right? Yep. So MCP is necessary in AI. Bolt.new never had it. I also noticed in Bolt.new, if I wanted to ask a question, if you're a real new builder, right? You don't have a coding background. You're just a dude messing with a computer, trying to figure out how to build a website. You can't expect every command that the user inputs to generate code. It's going to cause, a lot of lost money in my case. I ended up upgrading to the Bolt.new Pro and to the whatever Enterprise and then canceling it because I was like, there's no end to this cost. I might as well just hire a guy on Fiverr. So we built in a few cool aspects to DAPIT that we wanted to solve with that. So first off, our objective is to lower the barrier to entry as low as we possibly can get it, right? We want a grandma to come on and be able to build a relatively complex website or application in almost, relatively no time. So the first aspect is AIs, as I'm sure anyone who's ever vibe coded who's listening to this knows, they like to fill in missing data, or to put it less kindly, they bullshit, right? AIs will bullshit. every time if you don't give them specific instructions. Now, the ability for my brain to actually create instructions that specific is just not there. Like an example was I was building an application for my cousin. He wanted me to recreate an aspect he was using in his business. And I put a text box, right? Well, that text box had to be formatted in a really specific manner for his use case. Then I had to go back and send 3 more prompts to fix it. So what we did, we took a different AI model. We put it in front of our coder. Her name is Ade. She interviews you. And what her objective is to get as much information out of you, usable information, and then translate that to information that a coder or an AI could utilize, right? So step 1, you work through Ade. She is your prompt engineer. She's going to break down your prompt into a big bunk of text and then send that to Dapit, who's going to code it. Then you have the ability just to have a conversation with Dapit. But I also noticed, like, okay, so if I want to make a website, I obviously don't want to use AI images or things from Shutterstock. Well, that's the only thing that Claude is going to be limited to, or publicly available Google images currently, right? Oh, you want to show them? Yeah. You're logged in at work. Let's see. You are. I see what he's typing. I'm sure it's awesome in Taco. There you go. So you set that right to Dapit. Had you went to Ade, she would have asked you a bunch of questions about that, right? Now you got your little game you can play while Dapit's working. You can click your Dapit run and hang out and, chill while it codes. But now we built an image generation. We built an image to image editing. And I think the most cool thing, so the past 2 updates we've done, which I'm sorry, it's not available publicly yet, but it's coming out very soon, is we built in live editing of the website. So if you don't like a single word, you can edit the element that gives you that word. If you don't like an image, you can swap that image for another image, and you can really make it a custom creation, which is a little bit different than prompt-based vibe coding. And then Web3, right? So we're the first successful Web3 vibe coder. We've been acknowledged by BNB Chain. We are just, did a hackathon with Neurochain. They're on Anchor. We can do stuff on EVM that others can't. And the way that we do that is we simplify deployment down, not quite to the pump fund level, but getting close to it. Because the difficulty with pump fund is every token is the exact same. With a utility project, right, you actually need different functions. You need different taxes, calls. You want to have a burn mechanism. You want to have an auto buyback. You want to have all that stuff. So we compiled a really large library of smart contracts the user can choose from, or they can have Dapit make their own smart contract and then audit it. And the auditing is still V1. We're looking at some really cool partnerships for that coming up here, but it gives you from the very beginning to the very end. And now the final part is the deployment. So if I hand the average person a file and I say, hey, make this a website, they don't know where to begin, right? It's just a folder to them. Dapit connects to Netlify, Vercel, Cloudflare coming soon, and it can deploy directly to there. That's Lumina image generation. That's the gallery where you combine the prompt and the images, so Dapit can build with your custom images there. And we're trying to make it as easy as you can to use AI, man. Yeah. Go to the style settings up top. So I forked this from, what is it? The big image open source library. Anyways, you can tweak it down to whatever you want there. So if you look at the size in the top left, you can actually choose Dex Screener banner, Twitter banner, Pump Fund banner, everything you'd ever need, TG logo, and it'll automatically upload that for you. There you go.
All right. But at the same time, it's building out the whole site for me as well as the smart contract. So where Josh is, has a dev that built the smart contracts and everything like that, because everything's sort of running on top of other rails on Solana. You're having Ade build it all in EVM. Like right now you're doing Fuji, which is Avalanche's testnet, Sepolia mainnet ETH, BNB testnet, BNB mainnet, and where else?
Neura currently as well. Yeah.
And And so this is like where we're coming from two different coding sides, and you're looking at two different smart contract languages from Rust and Solidity. You know, where are we going to start to see interoperability within? Like we have chains that provide interoperability between like Solang, like Neon between EVM and Solana. Now we have Solang as well, which you can code in Solidity and deploy onto Solana. But as we're having tokens and interoperability from like, Sunrise, Wormhole, D-Bridge, and Axelar, as we're starting to see these things for just at least a token, where are we going to start seeing apps that are like multi-chain deployments?
I think that's phenomenal. Taco, you've given me so many ideas in this past week. I actually got distracted from my core build for a second and started floating off on one of them. I got to stay focused right now just to get V2 out. But some of the things that you have brought up, in particular, your discussion about zero layer, right? Your MCP tool server that you provided for Solana that I can tie into. These are making guys like me make it way easier for me to build that, right? The tools are allowing me to make that, makes it easier. I would love to integrate some of those things into Dapit. The thing that we're focused on right now currently is security. Mm-hmm. So before we go to launch,
yeah, we haven't even gone. I haven't really had a chance to deep dive into V2 too much, but we're still in the place of building it all and everything like that.
Oh, so go now. Okay, so you have your smart contract right there.
Yep.
Click on audit selected.
On what?
Yeah, click on the audit selected button right there.
Yeah.
And audit failed, and this is why we test on that one. Let me take that note.
Yeah.
That is a fork of Claude. Okay.
And on Battle Chess, we're still running and installing. So
Battle Chess is a very big file. You have done some good stuff on that. Your preview actually should populate. You have a project 26 left there.
No, not yet.
Give it time. Taco built one heck of a piece of software.
Yeah.
Here, do me a favor, go back to V2. Now click on the audit, the code on the left.
On the left, yeah.
Just verifying an error because I got you here. The little shield right next to audit contract in the slider.
Yep.
Sorry, the other shield right there. There you go. And now click audit selected. Okay, I just didn't connect my API keys there. Well, what that does is that that audits the code and gives you a score, and then it allows it to be sent back to Dapit for editing. But if you go now to the smart contract section, which is going to be 2 over, there we go. Press delete for me. Excellent. Yeah, just get rid of that contract completely.
We want to delete Battle Pups NFT.
Battle Pups will be all right. I'll give you a better contract for it. Right. Now click on the drop-down menu on the far left there. Dogfoodtoken.sol.
Yep.
Thank you. And you have 2 of them there. Delete Battle Arena as well, please. Okay. We have dog food token. Yeah, you have to delete that one. Thank you.
Yep.
Perfect. Click create from template. So this is how easy we make real deployment for EVM, right? You've got your testnets. You have links below that to get your testnet tokens. If you click next.
Yep.
Now you have your parameters, right? Do you want to do an NFT contract? Do you want to do, we don't have the staking ones in yet. I have to get secure systems before I can allow that.
Yeah.
Choose the chain, click next one more time. It's going to give you your options for each individual contract, right? Next, your collection, your NFT collection name.
Fido.
Perfect. Now let's generate contract. There we go. It'll have another file there as well.
Okay.
So now you can click deploy contract in that top right. Connect your wallet. Yeah. Any wallet will work. It's just a regular ether.js inject because we're Cloudflare based.
Gonna drain my hot wallet live.
Live, baby.
All right.
So the difficulty, the The reason Pump Fun is so popular is deploying's hard, right? You have to compile, you have to verify, you have to optimize based on a certain amount of runs. You have to ensure you know your Solidity compiler. We made that just as easy, man. You're coming down here, you're checking your things, right? Compiler versions auto-selected, enable optimizers auto-selected. You probably don't have testnet tokens, do you?
Oh,
yeah, testnet tokens.
Yep. All right.
But anyway, that's all you would do if you had testnet.
All right. Yeah. I don't think I can be testnet in this hot wallet, so
it's okay.
Yeah. But so when you're hearing stuff like that, like Josh, when you're seeing like basically what you're doing is you're making projects, or you're making a platform so people like Josh or anyone else, don't need an entire team really. They can build something from scratch, make at least like an MVP, and then like go from there. What are we doing to sort of protect? Like we've seen, like one of the big things that hit the airwaves today, InfoFi seems like it's going to be dead on Twitter. AI slop is going to be gone because all of those APIs are getting blocked now. Do we think that that's going to change? Like now people are just going to make AI slop projects? That's for either Josh or for you, Achilles.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to raise the barrier to success, man, which is what's so cool about it, right? It's like back in the day, I know when you started and like when I started, you could launch a rewards coin and it was like revolutionary. Like, holy crap, you launched a token that gives you more tokens when you buy something. And then they became blasé, commonplace, right? And then there was auto buybacks. And I've seen every major meta pass through crypto and raise the bar to successful deployment. And I actually think something like Dapit or something like what Josh has built there will create more slop if I'm 100, right? But as a result of that, the positive projects, the people really working on it, are going to rise to the top much faster. Just like on Pump Fun, there's a 99.7% failure rate or something. Mm-hmm. That's just to bond. Of the ones that bond, then there's a lot more that has to come after that and that kind of thing. So this will give real builders the tools to stand out in a field where it's going to be inundated with AI slop.
Okay. Josh, what about you? Like, where do you see like this sort of coming into play with what you're building?
Well, first off, that's awesome. I do want to check it out because it would be cool to just, be able to build a more complex thing on my own, right? I really felt like that it's super easy for people like me to use, and it's my first time hearing about it, so I'm really interested in getting into it. I did also want to dive into what you asked earlier about InfoFi, and I agree. I was so tired of seeing people say, what was it like? If you want to be rich and successful, here are 10 steps on how you do that. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that on my timeline. Like the amount of good actual information that I saw was just not there. And I don't use Twitter hardly ever anymore. It's more of a place for me to post my thoughts or to post my products and to network with people more so than actually, digesting information. And let me tell you, the comment section of that Nikita post today was amazing. How dare you? This is my income source. And it's just the quality of these posts. Like, I agree with InfoFi if the quality of the information was better, but it's not. And with tools like this, it's really cool to see that like you have to build up the next step, a whole new level just to, make it and be on there and the people that actually perceive what you're putting down. And yeah, I love all of it.
Okay. Achilles, do you like? I haven't seen all the APIs that they've struck out, but do you think that this is gonna strike a lot of the bots that have been just pushing, or like, let's be honest, like the OnlyFans bots that have been like in mass, or is this gonna just hurt InfoFi like Kaido, Yeet, Quacks, and like Cookie?
I don't understand the question. Like, do you think that will draw a lot of OnlyFans bots?
Yeah. Do you think that this? Do you think we're gonna see like? Are we gonna see less OnlyFans bots, or do you think that this is? Are we just gonna see? We don't know. They just made a quick decision to cut this API access off, and we're not going to see as much stuff anymore.
So I think that we're in the midst of the AI wars. And what we're seeing is, like you pointed out to me, that Claude had been depreciated from a lot of endpoints. It's still installing your software, bro. All the files are there for the record. Yep. It's just a really big file. It can take like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Virtual environment. I think that, okay, a few comments on this. We do an AI show on Moby Media every Tuesday if you guys want to come by and hear like deep dives into this. But one of the scariest things currently is like individual operational security from AI, meaning that they can completely clone Taco's voice and image and have Taco hit me up for money. And that's doable. Guys, make sure you have private keys. I'm sorry, not just private keys, hardware keys as well, right? For whatever you're doing, that's really important. You're going to get a lot of spam that you weren't accustomed to that's way smarter. Yep. AI is a tool that simply increases potential. So it increases the potential for everything uniformly. And that also means it's going to increase the potential for scammers. But on the positive side of that, it also increases the potential for security if you use it correctly, right? That's my main way, right? We're not going to get regulation on this subject in the way that we want to globally, or honestly, maybe not even want to. It's possible globally because it's such a hard thing to do, right? Like, it's just, there's so many competing countries and so many competing models, and some are broken, some are open source, some are hosted. Everyone's got their hand in the AI pie right now. So taking your own security into your own hands, and not just that, like the nature of employment's going to change, right? Making sure you're a builder to the best of your ability, I think, is really important. I can say that to 100 people and like 2 or 3 will listen. And those are the ones that I'm kind of talking to right now. Don't let this be something that kind of rolls you over. So that's why I was saying props to Josh earlier, because like, dude, vibe coding that is no small task. That's even with devs, that's a hard thing to pull off.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think is really cool. Like, I run an AI show every Monday, Manifest Morpheus Monday. And like the number one thing that we have that comes out of it is just go try stuff.
Yep.
Go make an account, click, but like at the end of the day, we're just monkeys, really.
Yep.
Pounding away on keyboards and clicking buttons.
The thing I keep saying to everyone is, you're not too dumb and you're not too late. Like, you are smart enough to figure this out. LLMs are coded with system configuration prompts that are written by humans. They're just big lengths of text, right? That's what gives your AI its personality, its hooks, it's all these things. Like, you can do that. You just have to take some time. And with DAP we're really trying to just lower that barrier down to the average person, to where, like, a friend of mine, she makes films, right? Mm-hmm. And we were talking earlier this evening, and she was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? Like, I'd love to take a look at that. Like, I was about to spend $3,000 on this new website." And I was like, "I promise you, I can build you any quality website with any features you want in a day," right? I mean, really, really complex, big stuff in one day. Everything else in 5 minutes, that you won't have to pay $3,000 for anymore. And she was like, "Absolutely, cool."
But will this put a lot of people out of jobs, like that are coders in right now, that have spent their entire life going through hackathons, learning how to write in Solidity and writing in Rust?
Yeah.
Or are they going to just augment their skills because this is a new toolbox?
6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. It's going to be both, man. The car put a lot of horse and carriage out of business, right? Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the nature. I think that's the nature of technology, period.
Yeah. So, Josh, someone that's using this, like, what were some of the things that like you learned along the way, and that sort of made it easier and better for you?
Like what I learned when I was a kid, the website, or
Yeah. As you were building and taking your idea and like giving it to AI to build, you know, and because I know just the front end of your site is what's vibe coded. The rest of it, the back end, is a dev. So
right.
like tweaking it and everything like that. Did you learn like a specific way to talk to it that like sort of like made it a lot easier?
I learned a lot. I mean, this was then, I don't know, Taco. I've been having conversations with my friends, and they're like, when are you gonna build something, Josh? I want to invest in you. And a lot of those people have invested in me. They got the token, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't feel like building. I'm not passionate about building anything. And so with this passion, I was able to like break through all the wall. Like usually, if I was bored, I would just say, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. I give up. But I was really passionate about doing this, and I learned. I mean, I'll say that again. I learned so much, and the thing that I learned the most is you don't want to be specific. When you first code with AI, it's like you kind of want to draw the background. You kind of want to say a broad statement like, okay, make the website look similar to this, or I want to build a tech website, and then it would pull up like a tech website, and then from there you can make changes and then alterations, and learning how to speak to the AI and be very specific. Like I'll tell you a perfect example, Taco. If you go to the AutoPilot page, if you go to tokens, okay, so you see that pump fun symbol right there?
Yep.
So I was sitting there for like an hour, and I'm like, okay, look, I want the right side to face the top right, and I want the green side to face the bottom, and I had to keep like talking to it and trying to turn it the right way, and that took a lot. That took a lot of time, and like, because at first I said, hey, put a pill, and it put like a yellow and red pill. I'm like, okay, hold on, let's change it up. All right, let's put a green and white pill, and it did that. And then after that, I was like, okay, wait, now I have to input it the right way. I checked the company website just to make sure it was perfect, and it took a lot of, being very like, I think I said something like, make the light face northeast. Like I was really crazy with it, and yeah, that was what I learned, is to go into it with an open mind and go into it not being super specific. Just do kind of blunt. Be like, hey, like I just want this, and then slowly building it out, and yeah, I mean that was the name. That was like the name of the game. Was kind of just being like kind of bland and just building it out slowly, and then honing in on specific things that I really wanted to see.
All right. So. Cool. Achilles, there's two questions for you. One, and I know you've mentioned it, but I want you to sort of clarify. What are the underlying AIs you use for DAPit?
Oh, I love a nerdy question like this. You guys are awesome. So it's predominantly Claude in every instance except for Ade and Lumina. But there's custom system configs for
it's 12 o'clock.
DAPit, for discussion mode DAPit, for smart contract auditor, not code auditor. For code auditor, I use the Llama 3.2. For Lumina, if you go to V2, dude, I'll tell you how to fix all this. You got to just download the file and upload the folder. It's too big, man. This guy made a full production level battle chess where you can bet Ethereum against each other and like push it to Git. I mean, Taco's killing it. It was too much for V1. V2 can handle that. But
I had fun.
I'm telling you, man, the man is like really pushing my system, and I value it so much.
I broke it a few times.
You're killing it. Oh, dude, your cache was like 5 gigabytes at one point.
Yeah.
It was insane. But if you go to our Lumina, I actually have 3 different image generation models, which is really cool. So if you guys don't know what Hugging Face is like kind of open source, kind of paid, depending on which models you utilize. But they're like an AI catalog for what you can pull off the market. They have text to image, image to image, text to voice, everything you can find. So I had a great time going through and testing all the image generation models that were available. And I came out with 3. There's Flux 1 Dev, Flux 1 Schnell, and then SDXL 1.0 is the 3rd model. And they all do really different things, right? For Flux 1 Schnell, we'll put out an image as fast as you could type. You type it, you press enter, 1, 2, 3, it's there. Flux 1 Dev will give you hyper realistic images of people, right? Or places or things, whatever you're looking for. And XDXL is going to be the foundation of our image to image engine, which I haven't really finished building. And that is, if I give them an image of Taco and I say, put a hat on it, right? They'll change Taco's hat for it. It'll be able to edit live once there. Yep.
Okay.
We got some more ones coming up. I'll tell you more about later.
And then the other question that someone had is, how complex can Dapit execute on?
Okay, let's talk about that. So Dapit can Dapit in theory can execute on any level of complexity you wish it to do. The difficulty does not lie in the coding, right? The difficulty lies in the parsing and the virtual environment to display it. So right now we just mentioned that Taco's cache got to like 5 gigabytes. That's because it's building the file in your RAM, right? So if you have a 128 gigabyte RAM computer like I do, I can build one all along. An 8 gigabyte laptop's going to struggle with that way more. So what we're looking into right now is offloading some of that, yeah, buddy, with Taco, offloading some of that computational strain, and we're looking to rent computers far away and host your builds on them. And then you'll be able to do a lot of other cool things with that simultaneously. Like, so let's say I use an open source coding model that has a token input of 120 billion. We use GPT's open source model, for instance, right? It cannot code as much as Claude could, right? But it's free. So that's pretty valuable unto itself. So what I'm looking to complete is I will take a model over here, and this model will receive your prompt, and it will create multiple separate steps in the same project for the coder to follow. So it's going to be like an agentic coding layer on top of that, that will also be pretty cool and new. That hasn't really been done in this way yet.
Nice. All right. And Josh, you talked about some of the things that you have coming up with AutoPilot as well. Could you sort of touch on some of that stuff?
Yeah, I can only say so much, but I will say what I can. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to hype it up too much. We are looking at implementing a feature where a part of the creator rewards can go towards like giveaways that are automated. So like, let's just say, for example, we want to reward holders. You know, there'll be a function where some of the fees can just go to rewarding holders and incentivizing and rewarding people to hold. The other thing is, well, I'm brainstorming this, but I kind of want to make things more automated. You know, you mentioned the whole wallets thing, like, oh, like, you know, we still have to trust people. Well, I'm trying to think of ways to make that fully automated. So I had that in the back of my head too. And the last thing I can give you is this. You know, one thing with AutoPilot, this is actually hilarious. I didn't even come up with the name AutoPilot. Cursor did. It had some thing where it's like, make your token on AutoPilot. I'm like, dude, that sounds really sick. AutoPilot sounds really cool. And so that's how we got the name, and I love it. It's such a good name, and it's actually funny because a lot of my friends have names. We had a whole name depot of all these AutoPilot names, and if you guys are my homies, you guys hear this, go spam them in the comments. There's so many good names that we have. Hold on 1 second.
I want to do something as we're going to be doing something because you said I needed to go build a bunch of wallets, and I have a bunch of wallets, but I don't want anything from this. So if you are listening to this on Twitter right now, go drop your Solana wallet in the address in the comment section, because we're going to use you as deployers. So when we get to launching an AutoPilot, so we can sort of walk through what that looks like. So if you're listening on Twitter, drop your Solana wallet address in the comments so I can have some wallet addresses in a little bit. But yeah, I just, this is the stuff that just like amazes me. And I love talking about like what people think and forget is that every time you've had an idea of like, it would be cool if someone did that. If someone did this, I spent a night making like 6 different projects from a Jared from Subway.eth honeypot Mev attacker, like a bot that would like go find Jared from Subway, what he's attacking, and then like try to do transactions to like honeypot him and stuff like that. And if you know Jared from Subway.eth, you know what I'm talking about. But I've done some other stuff in it where like literally I think I've pushed more to my GitHub in the last week in the last week than I have in the last 3-4 months, which any idea you have, you can literally create into something. But now you're putting it onto an on-chain feature. So one of the questions I had for you, Achilles, when making like integrating like the SDK for like Farcaster and frames, so like I could deploy something, and like Battle Chess could be just someone could be tagging at Battle Chess and put a move, and then Battle Chess responds with like a picture of like the Battle Chess piece moving. Oh my God, I just figured out the next phase of Battle Chess.
Bro, we gotta get you into a container. Okay, so what's the question exactly? Like, how do we get
like as we're integrating more stuff, like it's like the imagination is the limit.
Dude, do you want to build something live? Can I do a build live?
Yeah, let's build something live because
let me do it on V2. Let me share my screen really quick.
And I just want to add something to what you guys are saying about that's how I built AutoPilot. I had an idea,
right, and
I built it, and dude, I had a bunch of ideas I'm gonna try and build and put it under AutoPilot once the launch pad is completely finished. But I'm telling you, like, if I had an idea, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, I need to wait for a dev. Nah, man, I'm gonna go and code that shit. I'm gonna launch it. I'm gonna try things, and yeah, it's super sick.
This is what I mean about like becoming a builder, dude. Is like, look, we'll show you guys how easy it is to build a website right now, right?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Oh God, what screen is it sharing? Okay, no, I still get to select. Excellent. All right, this is V2. We're just debugging, right? Like you saw, like I missed an API key connection and that kind of thing. We want to make sure it's fully functional before we roll it out to you guys. But we've got all these awesome guys like Taco working on it, helping us with that. So let's give you the functionality really quick, and then we'll build something fast. Cool thing. One of the answers to a question you asked before is like, there's all these SDKs and all these things, right? Tying to an MCP server. You can make Dapit an expert in whatever field you're trying to operate in just by finding an MCP server. And I'm going to make this easier and easier. I already added some quick add servers here, but the difficulty with Dapit is it's a web hosted application. So the servers have to be compatible with that as well. But there's workarounds for that too, right? Your connections, you got your GitHub, your Batlify, your Supabase, Netlify. If you guys don't know what any of that means, it doesn't matter. You will need them when you know what they are. You'll need them when you have the need for them. And they're easy to sign up for here. A friend of mine said I had to put the sign up now button right next to the title. So I listened to him on that one, and we made it really easy to get your token. It was Taco, and do that as well. And then you just have some nice metrics about what you've done. I don't think I have a ton of tokens, so I don't want to do anything too complex. Yeah. Okay. So when you start with Dapit, you have two choices. Let's say build a website. This button will take you to Ade, who's our prompt engineer, and she's the beginning of our workflow, right? If you're an advanced user and you want to go right to coding, you just do it that way. You press the other button. Okay, what kind of website are you thinking about? I want to show you guys our image generation in this system and why it's like so much easier than like a website like Wix or any of the other like drag and drop builders that are out there. So let's do a simple website that displays 9 images. Don't know why I chose 9. Okay, you displayed in a grid layout, like 3x3. Yeah, 3x3 is fine.
And then I want you to tell it, say, I changed my mind. Change it to 432.
Okay, we can do that. Absolutely. We'll do that when Dapit's live, so you can see a live edit. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, pulling some nice stock photos. I'll show you guys the image swap. Okay, let's see. Any particular theme? Let's make it cyberpunk anime. I can't even type. Simple static display, simple static. It would be really embarrassing if I ran enough tokens on my own platform. Okay, save to gallery. Now we move on here to Lumina. So here you've got all of your different Telegram, Dex Screener, X Profile, Instagram, whatever social media or crypto need you could have, it can create the proper dimensions for that, so you don't have to worry about any of the things that you need. Styles, we're going to go cyberpunk quality standard, and we'll use my fast image generation cyberpunk dog. And we have our first image, cyberpunk dog. All right, but we want him now to look more anime. And we're going to do a cyberpunk dog. And now we have a cyberpunk dog in anime version. And now we want a cyberpunk dog, but we want him to be in 3D model. Oh, I've never tried that one. Tight. Okay, now a man named Taco who is kind of handsome.
Someone said that too in the quotes.
A man named Josh who is super cool. This one you're going to notice takes a lot longer to generate, and you'll see why in just a second. It's it's like the most high-end image model I could find, man. This thing can do anything. You got Taco, and now you've got Josh coming up here.
I'm sorry, I'm really special, so it might take a little longer to load.
Is that it?
You picked awesome, man.
Oh, dude, look at this. Josh is special.
Yeah, that's fire. That's
fire. So you can tell this isn't like your typical like Gemini or Nano Banana. Like we're really trying to like blow up the capabilities you have to tweak these images, right? So we're going to save these to galleries. Oh, that's that's my mistake, guys. And that is a bug I have to fix. Okay, come over here, save to gallery, image save to gallery. Come over here, save to gallery. We like all these images is what I'm getting at, right? Save to gallery and save to gallery. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select our prompt, the next tab, and I'm not going to select our images for a reason. Send to Dapit. Dapit is now coding. So while Dapit's coding, I have this cool little, let me confirm that one. Yep, we're good. Come over here. We have our little game we play while we're waiting. It's called Dapit Run. I based it off the Chrome 404 dinosaur. You just hop.
and wait.
Hop and wait while it builds. Okay, we got an error. Let's see why. Because it did not. Okay, I'll stab it. Let's see. Oh, let Dappet fix that. We'll play our game for a second. Okay, he's working. And please keep in mind, guys. Okay, it worked. Sorry. Perfect. Now we have our Cyberpunk gallery, right? I don't actually want to call it Cyberpunk gallery. I want to call it Taco and Josh Extravaganza. And guys, please keep in mind, this is like these things you're seeing here should all be filtered out. This is like no one else has access to this. This is a private
Beta
right now. Yeah, exactly. I just put it out last night too. Okay. We got you right there. Oh God, is it hallucinating? No, it received that command, I think. Oh my God, of course it does this on a demo. What did I just break?
Mine froze too.
Yeah, so the freezing is actually just it parsing all the data and it being too fast for the system to cache it. Or your cache is super big. My cache can be very large right now. Yeah, 1.7 gigs. Well, I think my model's hallucinating right now, but we'll find out in a sec. Let it finish its build. No, it's still getting a logic there. It's completing. One sec, yo.
Slightly, while he's building that, yes, comments are enabled. You just, I think, have to be following me to be able to comment, I think. I think that's a Twitter blue check thing, I think, now that they have. So,
yeah. Definitely follow Taco, follow Josh, and follow Dappet, y'all. All you guys watching right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Follow everyone.
Continue. Oh, okay. That wasn't that bad. Awesome. Let's go back to what we were doing. Sorry, guys. I'll figure out what that was in the terminal later. Taco and Josh Extravaganza. Excellent. Now we apply that change. And it's going to go specifically to right there. And while it's doing that, let's come over here. Let's select our edit image mode, right? And we're going to go here. And we're going to, I refreshed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to hot swap out our images. So wait for that to finish. And then we'll make our own little images in there. And you have a live edited situation. Although it is extremely slow right now. And I don't know why. Okay, Taco and Josh Extravaganza. Let's do that right there. Let's click on our inspectors. And now we can add in the dog. We can add in the picture of Josh. And we can apply that swap right there. So now we've got a website we kind of like, right? What do you do with it? Like Taco, do you know how to deploy a website?
Yes.
Okay, Taco knows how to deploy. Josh, how to deploy? Yeah, Josh knows, obviously. Yeah, I'm getting a multiple. This thing is going bananas, dude.
We'll do a whole 101 course on this.
Yeah, after I debug it, that's for sure. As you can see, the version Taco was using didn't do any of this. This is my beta, but we'll debug this and figure this out. The point is now we need our deployment options tied in, right? So there it goes. It swapped the image. The hardware is great. We've given you guys every form of deployment option that you could want, right? Netlify, Vercel, Cloudflare. You can also download the file if you know what to do with it. You could push it to your GitHub if you wanted. Export it to zip. It's your creation. We don't touch it. It lives in your cache, has nothing to do with us. So you can take this and launch a coin, launch a company, launch a website, whatever you so wanted to with the software.
All right. And right now on Dapit V1, how many projects do you get to see how many projects have been made or pushed?
Yeah, so we have projects like websites or anything without a smart contract, well over 2,000 for unique deployments onto a testnet or a mainnet. We have over 225. We had, just today we had 200 new signups. My API cost is skyrocketing. Because we started a hackathon with Neura. We had an awesome community right now, right? We're not necessarily pushing our Telegram or a Discord yet. We're still trying to, make sure we hash out all the kinks and we get a fully live working product before we push on the marketing side. But just organically, man, Dapit's kind of blowing up. 220 some unique deploys, a few thousand websites put out. I want to say we had 17,000 unique visitors last month, something like that. And our total amount of signups, I don't know, it's like 500 or something.
Yeah. And you guys have been building, and Dapit's been alive. Didn't just come up last week. You guys have been building, like Dapit's been live. V1's been live since last year, like September.
So we iterated in July. We made our X in August, and our first promotional video was end of August. And that was when, not even V1, that was like V2.25 was out. We put out V1 with our hackathon in September or October. I can't remember which one, y'all. And then, took notes, right? Edited, talked to some chains, got some recognition. And then since then, we've been working on V2, which we just kind of started to roll out. It's not rolled out yet, to be clear. But you guys won't be able to use this for probably another 2 weeks when it's fully live. And yeah.
Okay. Nice. All right. And I know I want to do some shows with you where we're just walking through like all of these 101 things and stuff like that as well.
Sure.
So people like how hard, like they're relatively easy for me just because, workflow. But like for some people, like we've talked about, they just don't get it. And it's not that they're dumb. It's just, it's something new,
Dude, with that being said, yes, like guys, all of you have access to this right now. This is Dapit V1, right? Very similar. All of you have 50,000 free tokens a day. All of you are eligible to enter into our hackathon, which has like prizes. Let me make sure I have solid tokens on this one right now. Yep. Okay. Build me a solitaire game with drag and drop functionality.
I remember when we did this the other day or last week.
Or the solitaire one?
Yeah.
This is my tech. Okay, so believe it or not, solitaire is a really complex thing for a vibe coder to do. It has to write in 2 languages. It has to do some difficult things, right? So you can see I typed that in and then I hit the Ade button right here rather than go through the interview because I know exactly what I want. And she broke this down into a large prompt. Now, unfortunately, once I press this button, you guys aren't going to be able to see. Oh, 1 second here. Awesome. You guys aren't going to be able to see my cool game that we've designed for V2. So we're just going to sit there. But the reason I'm showing you guys this on the V1 version is all this is accessible to you currently. There's nothing stopping you from using it. I would love your feedback, right? What do you guys like? What do you not like? Taco made a really good point. The thing that I struggle with the most is user interface and user experience, right? Like one of the comments I got was, I didn't know I had to go to gallery after using Lumina. And to me, I was like, oh, well, it's next in line where you click. But that's something I have to work on, right? Like making sure the user understands the workflow and those kinds of things. So if you guys want to mess around, it's free, right? You don't really have much to lose. We're giving you guys free credits just to give us your feedback. Take a look, let us know what you think. And if you build something cool, all you have to do is deploy it, and then you can enter our hackathon and you might win some money.
Money's good. We like money because we're losing money from InfoFi.
InfoFi? What is that?
The whole yaps and Kiter.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of places to lose money in crypto, that's for sure.
Well, one of the things that I saw with the API cuts, it was a very harsh comment, but it was also sort of hilarious because I wrote not a white paper, but I wrote a paper about Web3 gaming and third world countries, but sure. I wrote that in like 2019. But someone wrote like, we're about to see India's GDP shift because of this. So, yeah.
You know what's crazy is you learn to rely on these tools. I guess I never really answered this earlier when you were talking about it, like how they depreciated Claude's API. Like you learn to rely on some of these tools and they're kind of like taken away. And it just shows how early we are right now. Like a lot of these billion-dollar corporations, right? I mean, 100 billions, don't even have a proper monetization model yet. And they're figuring out how they're going to make money on these things and all these cool new pieces of tech. So like, guys, you're not late. Get in here.
Yep. So while I want this build to go through, while this build is going through, we will give it a moment, but I want to do like we've been walking through with DAPIT. I want to sort of wrap us up, walking through AutoPilot for those that, are watching to learn how to use and deploy on AutoPilot and why AutoPilot can be good to loot. And like that, we have a solitaire game.
That's it. You could make this Web3 really quick and, I don't think I have any move there. You can make this Web3 and like add your own scoreboard to it and write your score with a wallet. I want to see the AutoPilot thing too, so I will definitely share the screen here. But okay, sorry. Last thing, I can show you guys this real quick. All you would do is click right there if you have your account connected and deploy your website.
Nope. All right.
Let's see it. AutoPilot.
Let's see this. Josh. So as we walk through this, you had different things in mind when you were building this. Tell me sort of more about that.
Okay. What aspects you want me to do? You want me to like actually go through the process, or just in general?
We're gonna go through. We're gonna go through the whole process.
So I think the main point of AutoPilot was to make it easy for anyone. Like you don't even have to be a dev, right? You can. It's a pretty simple format for everyone to use. And also, it really helps teams kind of plan, right? Because there's different wallets that you have to put in there. But that's right, we have listings. I need to allocate some money to listings, or I need to allocate some money to this or that, and it kind of helps with that. So, if you're not experienced launching tokens, it's kind of like a guidebook on how to launch a token successfully and autonomously without really doing much. So I think making it easy to use, making it like something that everyone can use, whether you're a project that's on pump fund or launching, that was the whole point, and that's why we made AutoPilot. And the other thing too is, because these functions are forever, right? It takes once you launch the token, it takes some time, like maybe a minute or two, a couple minutes to really lock it in. And that kind of just makes sure that hey, you as the dev, you can't really make a mistake. If you there's just so many things that could happen. And for example, you have the dev wallet and use the dev wallet to access different sites. If you hit a drainer, you're covered, you're covered because it's all automated. It's all just going to go to the same wallets. It's continuous. And that's what's so cool about it. So real quick, I want to talk about these different categories. So you have meme coin. So these are just presets for the people to, kind of choose and be like, oh yeah, I'm launching the meme coin. This is kind of what a good split would look like. But it's all the same format. It's just, the presets for people who are new, right, and who need some help. So you have the meme coin launch, which is pretty obvious. You have the tech launch, and then you have the charity and cause. And what I really like about that one, is that's the new meta recently. Is taking creative rewards and giving it to artists or builders or a certain TikTok page, and this makes sure that it's enforced and it can't really be changed, and that's one of my favorite categories. And then you have the custom setup, which is pretty obvious. So you can pick any of those.
Let's see what custom setup looks like. So you're basically making this a slider for me. So like that's how easy it can be.
Yeah, and it's super easy, man. It's just like you can pick where the funds go, slide it, and on the top right, you look at the top right of the screen and the bottom, it says, hey, you're over 100%. So you have to pick something to adjust.
Okay. So like if I'm picking, like, so I got a bunch of Solana wallets here that I'm just gonna basically copy and paste in. So charity wallet is this random person. This wallet address is this random person. What is this next one? We got this person. Dev wallet. Do you support SNS yet? So could I just have typed in
not yet.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to put the dev wallet for this. Now this no cap function or sol max. Yep. What do you mean by, like, I know what it means, but that means that a maximum will only ever go to the dev wallet, and when it's hit that cap, no more goes to it? Or like, let's say we put a cap of 10 sol there, or 1 sol. Once it hits 1 sol, it will go elsewhere. But let's say that 1 sol, it goes below 1 sol. Will 1 sol go back to it or no?
If it goes below 1 sol. So it sends money to the wallets periodically. So if you send 0.1 sol, you'll get it in that wallet. But once it hits that 1 sol limit or that threshold, there's some of the means right there. Once it hits that threshold, it goes directly to either the burning wallet or the market maker.
Okay. Boop boop. Let's see what we can do here. We'll lower that. We're way over. All right. Boop. There we go. All right. So we got our execution pieces there. Platform fee. So that's all broken down. Now, does this push all, like we put in our socials, we put in website and stuff like that? Are you pushing the APIs over into Pump Fund so it will show up in the token metadata as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's see. All right. There we go. So we picked some random people to get stuff from this.
Dude, this is Cool.
You'll see the functionality. You'll see it all happen in real time. When the token is launched officially, you will kind of be able to look at all the wallets that you put as recipients, and you can literally go to those wallets and check it out.
Nice. Oh wait, not burn it. I was going to pump it. So is it built? Is it launching in mayhem mode or is it launching in regular mode on Pump Fun?
It should launch in regular mode on Pump Fun.
All right. Let's see if it's launched yet. Refresh your page.
It did. I see it.
Oh. Bit.
So here, let me tell you a tip. If you go to the website,
Yep.
and you go to tokens,
Let me refresh the page. All right. So now tokens. Burn it.
there it is.
All right.
And then if you click the drop down,
Pump Fun. That's great.
this shows all the wallets right there. And you can click the Pump Fun symbol, and it will take you to your Pump Fun.
Nice. It says it's not, my picture is not safe for work.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it's not. But yeah, there it is, man. There's your token.
All right. So we are seeing,
It's a great chart, man.
yeah, I love that chart. You know, I don't remember.
So cool though.
Did I
I'm
buy any of it? I don't even remember if I bought any of it. All right.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Let's see. Let me lock in on this real quick. Let's see what we can do here.
So there's no purpose. We're gonna like dump this token. We are going to sell it. We are going to get rid of it. But yeah. All right. So you got $7 worth of burn it.
Got $7 worth of burning. Let's see.
Burn it, Taco.
Burn it, Taco. Hold on 1 second. I actually kind of like that you took that meme from the page and you just.
Oh yeah. I love it when people drop memes. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing that I was trying to do with AutoPilot is make sure that there were also memes so that people were not bored.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is like you can post about how cool the tech is, you can post about like what's going on there, and you can talk about AutoPilot, or you could just make some AutoPilot memes. It's really up to you.
All right. And I like how, so, all right. Oh, wrong wallet.
Dude, the level of functionality you just added, Pump Fun's going to try to buy you. This looks great.
Thank you, Dan. Really appreciate it.
All right. And then that brings you to SoulScan. So, Josh, one suggestion I would make, that's your mint address. Oh, it's okay. Nope, never mind. You have it. So yeah. All right.
Taco, I appreciate all input and all advice, but I had put a lot of time into like thinking about, okay, what does this do? All that.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I want to show you real quick.
Yeah.
So if you open the dev portal.
Okay. I didn't have that before.
Nope, but now you're a dev.
I'm the dev now.
I'm the dev. If you go to the dev portal and you click on the arrow, and you scroll down, you can claim. I think you can claim. claim your tokens on the bottom. Is that right?
Okay. Claim minted tokens. All right.
And those are the tokens that you just minted. So.
All right. Nice. Client error. All right. Boom. Run now. So, and now you're running this with a bot in the background. The bot is the one that's doing all the distribution.
Yeah, it's doing all the distribution all on its own.
All right.
So I'm pretty sure. Let me double check and see if we can see any transactions.
From the bot?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to the Authority wallet,
Yep.
you can see that there's already like $1 a soul that was already sent to the wallet in the transfers.
Okay.
It's just happening. It's just doing it on its own.
Yeah. All right. I freaking like this, man.
Yeah, it's super dope, and I think once it gets more eyes and the right teams are, who are actually interested in building see this, I think it will be a huge success. I'm here for the long term, and I'm gonna keep doing cool shit with it. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right. I freaking like this, man. Yeah. So, and like from the token itself, we can see where the token created and how it got distributed and everything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, like you don't have, like you as the dev, you don't have access to
any of the authority over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just you it's all automated. It's all doing it on its own.
All right. And we can see here that some random person bought it or they got fees.
Sick.
Yeah. So
this is beginning to add like EVM level capabilities to Sol when it comes to fees and wallets and such. That's really cool, man.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it definitely. Yeah. I hadn't heard that before, but it makes sense. The whole EVM and the smart contract. Like this is essentially a smart contract on Sol.
It's a layer on top of it. Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you, Josh. You were part of Troll. Do you know Sea-Dog?
Dude, that's my boy.
Yeah, tell him Achilles says what's up.
All right, I will.
All right. So because we like to do random things. All right. There we go. We bought more. And now we're going to just burn it all. Oh, man.
Green candles. The cool thing about AutoPilot too is, we haven't really been out for that long, and I just want to pull it up and get the facts straight. Man, the pump on search bar is not the best.
You've been. This has been live now for like just over 48 hours.
Yeah, been live for 48 hours. So let's go to Soul Scan. I just want to verify it and not leave anything out. So there has been.
There's been a little bit of activity.
1.4 million tokens.
Yeah.
Burned out of the AutoPilot supply, because the fees. Of course, there's the burning mechanic for AutoPilot, right? Like we have our own, split, like you do, but AutoPilot also does. So half of the deployment fees goes to buyback and burns on AutoPilot, and some of the fees go to buyback and burns of AutoPilot. So AutoPilot is a deflationary token.
Nice.
And it's burning at a pretty rapid rate. Once we start seeing serious volume, it'll be like a pressure cooker, and essentially there's these super deflationary. So
Nice. And so anytime I click this run now, it runs the bot for me.
It does. Yeah, I mean, like you can run it at any moment, but it does it on its own. You know, like you don't want to be the dad just sitting there all day clicking the run now button. But yeah.
All right. Let's I want to, and so this is what I'm going to do, just because I don't want $21 anymore, and I can be done with it. Done.
Did you say 21 American dollars?
21 American dollars.
Yeah.
Dude, that can get you a burger and fries and a Diet Coke, man.
Where? Where? Like maybe in maybe in Hong Kong, maybe in like Dubai, but not anywhere around here.
Not anymore, man. Man, prices are high.
I did with the burn. It's the token's name is Burn It Taco. So Taco burned it.
Send it higher.
So I don't own any more of it anymore. And as we can see here, current supply 1 billion now goes to 1 billion. Now is five. Now there's only 2 holders.
That's funny.
Good job, y'all.
Yeah. No, and I love walking through these things and testing these things out and sort of seeing how they work and how they go. So, yeah. But, yeah. This is the stuff that makes me happy. You know? So I want to start wrapping this up because I know it's getting late for everyone, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. And we've just been climbing, so I feel like we're sort of getting to that end of the piece, and you guys, I'm sorry, but this is both of your guys' first time on the show, so you might not know how this show ends. So I apologize in advance, but as we're starting to wrap this up, Achilles, any last things you want to sort of cover?
Just thank you guys. Thanks you guys for having me on. I'd appreciate, all the follows and usage of DAP8 you guys want to give me.
Yeah. Thank you. Josh, any things you want to say before we start the close?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the first time a lot of people had heard me talk about AutoPilot, and it's a fairly new product that we're still working on. I think this whole journey has inspired me to continue building and to just do cool shit and to do it with cool people, more importantly. And honestly, Taco, this show has makes me want to do more of these things. So, feel free to hit me up. I'll always come on, and I can talk about AutoPilot all day if you want to. We can talk about other things. I mean, you can go at anything you want. But yeah, man, I think make sure when you're in the space, you can get lost trading all day, every day. But if there's something that you want to do and you're genuinely passionate about it, go do it. Try it. Just go try and see if you can make it happen. See what you can do with it. Because 2 or 3 weeks ago, I knew nothing about coding. I did not have any idea what I was doing, and here we are with a fully functional site that could do so much for this space, and it's something that people really need. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. All right. Well, as we start to wrap this up, we're gonna wrap up with all the things. I want to thank everyone on LinkedIn, Player One Taco, YouTube, 0x Degens, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, on-chain via Abstract, on-chain via Arena. And for those on Abstract, who knows? Maybe DAP8 V2 will have Abstract testnet coming soon. Who knows? But for those on Arena, it does have Fuji testnet. So you want to go build something and deploy it, that people can use within the arena, you can do that now. So huge shout out to everyone, at all my friends over in the arena. You know I don't spend enough time over there, but I freaking, yeah, I love it. But with that, we're going to wrap this up. And so, as always, we end this episode, this show, in two ways, with the same two things: words of wisdom and the greatest worst knock joke on the face of the planet. As we wrap this up, Achilles, final thoughts, words of wisdom, 10 seconds, go.
Y'all are all legends. Every last one of you guys. You can do all this stuff. Just like hop on and do it. Let's go.
All right. Thanks. Josh, final thoughts, words of wisdom, 10 seconds.
Don't give up and try new things every day. That's it.
Ooh,
All right.
I like that.
And my words of wisdom are always the same. A closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. With that, I want to thank everyone for joining us for TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 979. That is right. I've done this show alone 979 times, unfortunately. But as always, we end with the greatest worst knock joke on the face of the planet. And for those that don't know, this is the best way to end a show, in my opinion. But are you guys ready for this?
I'm so ready.
I'm so ready.
I've told this joke 978 times. That's how amazing it is.
I literally can't wait.
Knock.
Who's there?